When people hear the word Catholic, the first image that comes to mind is almost always the same: Rome. A towering cathedral, priest in Latin vestments, the Pope standing on a balcony addressing the world. For many, Catholicism is simply Roman Catholicism, as if those words were interchangeable. But here's what most people don't realize. The Catholic Church is far bigger than just Rome. And not all Catholics are Roman. There's another side of the Church, one that many have never seen, even though it has existed for centuries. A side filled with incense, icons, chants in ancient languages, and deep roots in Eastern lands. This is the world of the Eastern Catholic churches. Though they look and sound different, they are fully Catholic. They accept the Pope as the successor of Peter. They believe in the same sacraments, the same gospel, and the same core doctrines. But they express that faith through entirely different traditions just as ancient as Rome's. Let's rewind a bit. In the earliest centuries of Christianity, the Church didn't develop in just one place. It spread across 5 major centers: Rome, Constantinople, Alexandria, Antioch, and Jerusalem. These became known as the 5 ancient patriarchates. Each one had its own local customs, liturgical styles, and theological emphases. Yet all were considered part of the one, holy, Catholic, and Apostolic Church. But over time, history took different turns. The Latin Church, centered in Rome, became dominant in the West. This is what we know today as the Roman Catholic Church, the largest branch of Christianity in the world. Meanwhile, in the East, churches continued their own traditions. Some eventually broke away from Rome, becoming the Eastern Orthodox or Oriental Orthodox churches. But others remained or later returned to full communion with the Pope. These are the Eastern Catholic churches. Today, there are 23 Eastern Catholic churches, each with its own hierarchy, customs, and liturgy, yet all in communion with Rome. They are not under the Roman Catholic Church. They are not subordinate. Together, they form the global Catholic Church, united under the Pope but diverse in expression. So how are they different? Start with the liturgy. The Roman Catholic Mass is structured, solemn, and in many places modern in language and form. The Eastern Divine Liturgies, on the other hand, are older in style, often using ancient languages like Church Slavonic, Syriac, or Guizi. The prayers are poetic, repetitive, symbolic. Icons surround the space. The sanctuary is separated by a screen called the iconostasis, symbolizing the mystery of heaven. In Roman Catholicism, the emphasis is often on clarity, order, and defined theology. In Eastern Catholicism, the emphasis is on mystery, experience, and communion with the divine. The two approaches are not in conflict. They are two sides of the same coin. Even the sacraments are approached differently. Roman Catholics baptize infants, then wait years before offering them First Communion and confirmation. Eastern Catholics give all 3 sacraments at once, even to newborns. A baby is baptized, confirmed with sacred chrism, and then receives a tiny portion of the Eucharist, entering fully into the Church from the beginning. Clerical celibacy is another example. In the Roman Church, priests must remain celibate. But in many Eastern Catholic churches, married men can be ordained as priests, following the ancient practices of the Eastern world. Bishops are still chosen from the celibate clergy, but parish priests may have families. And yet, despite all these differences, there is no division. The Eastern Catholic churches are not trying to become Roman, nor are they considered second class. They are sui juris, meaning of their own law. They govern themselves internally, elect their own bishops, follow their own liturgical calendars, and maintain their cultural identity. But they all proclaim the same creed. They all recognize the Pope as the visible head of the Church. And they all participate in the same universal mission, to bring Christ to the world. So why don't we hear about them more often? In part because they are fewer in number. While over 1 billion Catholics belong to the Latin Church, Eastern Catholics make up only around 18 million worldwide. They are strongest in regions like Ukraine, Lebanon, Egypt, India, Iraq, and Ethiopia, places often on the margins of the Western Catholic imagination. But they carry something vital. They remind us that Catholicism is not just a Western religion. It is global. It is diverse. It has room for more than one style of worship, more than one theological lens, more than one language of prayer. They also remind us of something else, something we often forget in a world divided by culture, politics, and even religion. Unity doesn't require uniformity. The Catholic Church is not a factory. It is a family with different voices, different songs, and different ways of loving the same God. So yes, most Catholics in the world are Roman, but not all are. And if you ever walk into a church where the priest is married, the Eucharist is offered on a spoon, and icons surround the altar like windows into heaven, you haven't left the Catholic Church. You've just entered a different room in the same house.